Do you need a great marketing tool to advertise your business or event? Then use Ottumwa Coasters. Get your business or event on drink coasters featured in Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. It's the most fun and effective way to reach the community. Starting at just $199, you get 1,000 coasters delivered to Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. Look for Ottumwa Coasters on Facebook or call or text 573-932-0111. Watch Pekin Panther football live right here this fall on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, and YouTube with live announcers and an updated scoreboard, plus an area scoreboard to keep you updated on other schools of interest. It's Pekin Panther football live right here on Steve Shetler Media starting Friday, August 30th. This Saturday, H&S Feed and Country Store in Oskaloosa invites you to stop by from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. as they're hosting a celebration you don't want to miss. Join H&S Feed and Country Store as they mark 20 incredible years of service with their much-anticipated Checkerboard Day. There'll be family fun activities, delicious food, exciting giveaways, and live entertainment. Bring your friends and family, and let's make this a day to remember as we celebrate 20 years at H&S Feed and Country Store in Oskaloosa from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday, August 24th. New Life Fellowship in Keswick, Iowa is hosting the Victorious Living Conference Friday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 25th with guest pastors Luke and Jana Hobbs from Tennessee. You're invited to make plans to join New Life Fellowship in Keswick for this dynamic time of anointed worship, teaching, and ministry. New Life Fellowship is located just south of Keswick on Highway 22. The conference schedule is Friday, August 23rd at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 24th at 6 p.m., and Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. We hope to see you for the Victorious Living Conference. Central Empire Wrestling presents Bridge City Slam 6 live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. Come see Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell, former WWE Tag Team Champions Demolition, Real One Enzo Amore, The Powers of Pain, The Boogeyman, Snitsky, Jordan Grace, Cameron Brunet, and the stars of CEW. Tickets start at just $20 and include the Fan Fest from 4 to 7 p.m. Get your tickets through Ticketmaster or at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. It's Bridge City Slam 6, live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa.
And here's your host, Steve Shetler.
Hey, welcome in. Hi. Hello, my fellow Americans. Welcome in to the morning wake up. Here on Steve Shetler Media, it's brought to us by our friends at Ottumwa Coasters. And of course, you can get a hold of Elizabeth at Ottumwa Coasters to get your business or event on drink coasters featured in Ottumwa's most popular restaurants, also expanding their area as well. So more and more Ottumwa Coasters with your event and business featured on them going to be popping up all around Southeast Iowa. Great deal. $199. Get you 1,000 coasters out there throughout Southeast Iowa. Take advantage of that. Of course, we do send a big thanks to Oski Dental. They sponsor the Oski Dental Studios. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Schuster at 641-673-4845. They are always accepting new patients. Oski Dental going to file your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta Dental provider at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa. We thank Oski Dental for sponsoring the studios. Ottumwa Coasters for bringing us the morning wake-up during the month of August. Let's take a look at our forecast. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. And wow, it's just a beautiful forecast continues. I know it's going to get hot by Sunday, but this week looks fantastic. I mean, just perfect. Mostly sunny for today. A high around 78. Pretty calm winds today. Enjoy today. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 58. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 75. Tomorrow night, clear, a low of 55. Thursday will be sunny and 78. Right now, our current conditions in southeast Iowa, according to the National Weather Service, humidity at 97%, winds are north at 5 miles per hour, the barometer at 30.24. Dew point is at 55, and according to the National Weather Service, the old thermometer in the Oskey Dental Studios currently reading 57 degrees. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate, located again at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. Earlier today, we do it every weekday morning at 6 a.m. We put up our This or That. It's brought to us by, wow, you know what? I just realized there is no information on there for Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty. Whoops. This or That, brought to us by Stacy Flynn. This is cardigan, that is blazer. Now, it might be a little bit early in the year for these particular items, but if you had to go with one of these, ladies, cardigan or blazer, this or that. That went up at 6 a.m. this morning. Coming up at noon today, we will put out our question of the day. It's brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa, 202 North Main, Sigourney. As we get ready to go back to school with the kiddos, what is your favorite school memory? Or, if you want to put up multiple memories, you can do that. There's nothing saying you can't. So, what's your favorite school memory? That is your question of the day, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. Let's take a peek at our Athlete of the Year tournament going on. It's brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics and Kelly Style State Farm. And again, the winner of this whole tournament, by the end of this week, we're going to crown our champion, and they're going to get that big, super nice championship belt. Our current matchup right now has North Mahaska's Nat Linder going against Cardinal Softball's Emma Becker. Very competitive matchup, as most of these have been throughout the tournament. I believe Nat currently holds the lead in this particular matchup. Voting goes until 5 p.m. The thumbs up for Nat or the heart for Emma. We're looking at the brackets. So far, the Final Four includes Nate not Nate. That'd be his dad. Cale Clarahan, the number 8 seed in the Final Four, is awaiting the winner of this matchup. Haley Jack, the 7 seed, is going to be going against Addison Adam, the 13 seed. So lots of higher seeds moving on in this tournament to make up the Final Four. Again, the winner of our current matchup, Nat Linder and Emma Becker, going to be rounding out that Final Four. So we'll see which one that is coming up at 5 o'clock. Then we're going to jump right back in. Sorry for flip-flopping on you here. We're going to jump back into the tournament. 5 p.m., the Haley Jack, Addison Adam matchup will start at 5 p.m. today. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty on this tournament. One of these fine athletes is going to get that championship belt to take home for themselves. Our other tournament going on this month in August, State Fair Food for the Fun of It tournament, sponsored by Son-in-Law Services. Josh Clubb, your handyman, 319-431-1806. Our State Fair Food matchup has the Tater Ribbons going against the Barksdale Cookies. Tough matchup. I like both. I like my Tater Ribbons with some cheese drizzled on top. But Barksdale Cookies, man, I tell you what, some warm, fresh Barksdale Cookies are hard to beat. Right now, the Cookies do have the lead in this matchup. And you can give the thumbs up for the Tater Ribbons or the heart for the Barksdale Cookies. Winner will move on in the tournament. Let's take a look at our brackets. Once again, we're going to be rounding out our Final Four with the winner of this matchup. We've got the Corn Dog going against the Hot Beef Sundae, and Pork Chop awaiting the winner of Tater Ribbons and Barksdale Cookies. So, again, you can get your votes in. This matchup went up at 6 p.m. last evening, goes till 6 p.m. this evening. The Ribbons versus the Cookies. Get your vote in for our For the Fun of It tournament brought to us by Son-in-Law Services. What do we got going on? Coming up this evening here on Steve Shetler Media, we'll be taking the show to Smoky Row in Oskaloosa. Tuesday night tune-up for you local racing fans. Safe Grafke is your host through October. And let me look. I gotta remind myself who Safe has coming in tonight. Brayton Carter will be our guest coming up tonight. Brayton Carter. So make sure you tune in tonight for some local racing and other racing information. Safe Grafke, your host. Brayton Carter will be the guest tonight for Tuesday night tune-up live at Barnwired. Coming up on Friday, that would be Friday. Let me spit that out. Adam Klett, a proud veteran, going to be coming to Barnwired in Sigourney, 11:30 to noon this Friday, playing some original music, giving me a live interview. It's the debut of Adam Klett as my guest on this Friday's Barnwired Iowa Music Showcase. Check it out live and in person, or watch it live here on Steve Shetler Media. And then on Saturday, we will have the sports section live from Brothers Market. Mitch Eslick coming back for one more time to host before we hand off the hosting duties for the fall to Andy McGuire. Mitch Eslick will be your host this Saturday. We got some guests, including Venom Soccer, the soccer club here in town, Venom Soccer, and then also talking with the Sigourney Volleyball. So make sure you tune in. That starts at 8 o'clock Saturday mornings live at Brothers Market. Let's throw up some... Let's not throw up. I don't want to throw up. I want to look at some community calendar events on the old calendar. Do keep in mind the Sigourney Public Library has their monthly freezer meals. Now, I know I saw maybe yesterday, Miss Amanda from the Sigourney Public Library said they had one last-second opening for this month's monthly freezer meals. So you might want to look into that. There might still be an opportunity. I don't guarantee that. But get hold of Amanda Kelly at the Sigourney Public Library about this month's monthly freezer meals. Also on the calendar, do keep in mind, through the end of September, the Keokuk County Farmers Market in downtown Sigourney comes up every Wednesday. Live entertainment, lots of vendors and good stuff going on the square in Sigourney. And then also, do want to point out, this goes on through tomorrow, SNAC, the Summer Nutritional Assistance for Community Kids. It's for kids up to age 18, Mondays and Wednesdays. So tomorrow will be the last day for this, 11:30 to 12:30 at the Community Outreach Center in Sigourney. And that's sponsored by the Sigourney Lord's Pantry and the Sigourney Ministerial Alliance. So take advantage of that one last time tomorrow for the SNAC program. What do we got? What else we got? We got some birthdays. Let's do some birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And you, and you, and you. Our birthday is brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Nikki Leathers, your broker-owner realtor. Find more information and listings at hometown-re.com. On the hometown side, local and area birthdays, we've got Ben Wilson celebrating a birthday today. Now, Ben is part of the duo called Gold Pine Music. Make sure you check them out. They've got a show coming up. They're a nationally touring act, but Ben from the Oskaloosa area originally, and he and his wife Cassie going to be coming to University Park, I believe on Thursday, for a concert at that outdoor venue. So check that out. Also, another country artist, originally from Iowa, Cody Vandermolen, has a birthday today. And then we've got Dory Harvey, Not Dory from Finding Nemo, but Dory Harvey with a birthday today. So happy birthday to those hometown birthdays. Celebrity birthdays for today. We've got boxing promoter Don King. Haven't seen Don in a while. I'm assuming his hair is straight up in the air like it always has been. Don King, 93 years old. Connie Chung, broadcast journalist, 78 years old. Isn't she married to Maury Povich? I think so. Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, and of course has had a fantastic solo career. Robert Plant is 76 years old. Rudy Gatlin, one of the Gatlin brothers, is 72. Weatherman Al Roker is 70 years old. Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit is 54. Amy Adams, the actress, is 50. Andrew Garfield, former Spider-Man, is 41. And Demi Lovato is 32. So happy birthday to our celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Hey, we're doing the morning wake up. It's brought to us by Ottumwa Coasters. We are live from the Oski Dental Studios. On this date in history, on this Tuesday, August 20th, it was 1866 on this date. President Andrew Johnson formally delivered the address that said the Civil War was officially over. Now, the fighting had stopped for quite a while, but today was the date that President Johnson formally declared the Civil War was over. On this date, 1920, America's first commercial radio station, called 8MK, interesting name, began daily broadcasts in Detroit, Michigan. So there you go. On this date, 1953, the Soviet Union publicly acknowledged that they had tested a hydrogen bomb. On this date, 1953. And on this date, 1974, Nolan Ryan became the first major league pitcher to throw a pitch over 100 miles per hour. Now, I'd say it's fairly common for pitchers to throw that hard, but Nolan Ryan was the first guy to do it, 50 years ago? Wow, Nolan Ryan. Today, on the National Day calendar, it's National Accessible Air Travel Day. Okay. It's National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day. And it's National Radio Day. I mean, I worked in radio for 30 years, so if you want to celebrate it, I guess. Go ahead. Let's see, what else we got going on? Not much at this moment. Let's take a look and hear from some of our sponsors, which of course includes our headliner, which is Ottumwa Coasters. Do you need a great marketing tool to advertise your business or event? Then use Ottumwa Coasters. Get your business or event on drink coasters featured in Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. It's the most fun and effective way to reach the community. Starting at just $199, you get 1,000 coasters delivered to Ottumwa's most popular restaurants. Look for Ottumwa Coasters on Facebook or call or text 573-932-0111.
Iowa St. Croix Rosé from Tassel Ridge Winery is a dry rosé with strawberry, raspberry, peach, and nectarine notes and a slightly drying finish. This wine will complement Asian stir-fry, Mexican dishes, and summer grilling events. It's made entirely from St. Croix grapes grown in our Mahaska County vineyards and is best when served chilled. Iowa St. Croix Rosé is available at Tassel Ridge Winery and a growing number of our nearly 400 retailers in Iowa. If you don't see it at your favorite store, ask the manager to get it for you. Check the QR code to go directly to our website for a list of retailers. Tassel Ridge Winery is located in Lyden on Highway 163 between Pella and Oskaloosa and is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from noon to 6. Check our website at tasselridge.com.
Jeremy Empey Web Design, designing since 1999. Graphic design, website maintenance, and more. Web solutions for any size project, serving Oskaloosa and beyond. Jeremy Empey Web Design has web solutions for any size project. He can breathe life into your website, and he'll help you out with fast support, web hosting, web development, and website maintenance. Whatever you need, Jeremy Empey Web Design can help you out. Call Jeremy at 641-295-4844 or get more information at jeremyempey.com.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, your family's free to enjoy their dreams.
Try it again. You're getting the hang of this. Good job.
American Family Insurance.
Contact Christy Tarr in Oskaloosa at 641-673-8965. Sigourney Keota football fans, Steve Shetler Media is teaming up with Clint Dye of Tag Team Photography to bring you coverage of Sigourney Keota football this fall. You've seen Clint's fantastic photos of Sigourney Keota football over the last few years. And now Clint is bringing those talents to be showcased on Steve Shetler Media. We're going to have pictures and action shots of each and every game, an in-depth article, and a video highlight of the game as well. You won't miss a thing with Sigourney Keota football coverage right here this year on Steve Shetler Media. Oh man, we're going to have football covered for you here on Steve Shetler Media this fall with Clint Dye doing a Sigourney Keota with pictures, an article, and a highlight of the game video. We'll be doing live video streaming of Pekin football this fall, entire games live free right here on Steve Shetler Media. So Pekin and SK both covered very well this fall here on Steve Shetler Media, getting into that football game. Let's see here. What are we going to do? Up next, let's do some things you need to know. In some things you need to know. All right, a nearly 600-pound mammoth tusk from the Ice Age has been discovered in Mississippi. I know we're going to be talking in some weird news. We're going to be talking about mastodon bones found here in Iowa. So lots of big bones found here recently. How about Hollywood? Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's daughter, Shiloh, has been granted a name change as she'll now be going by Shiloh Jolie. We've talked about this before on our morning show here. Shiloh evidently doesn't want much to do with her dad, Brad Pitt. Let's see here. Tech tycoon Mike Lynch and his daughter are among the missing after a luxury yacht sank off of the Sicily coast. So I'm sure people missing them and wanting to get them back along with all the other folks that are missing from that luxury yacht. How about Danielle Fishel of Boy Meets World, the TV show Boy Meets World? She has revealed that she has early stage breast cancer at the age of 43. Best wishes to her. Let's see here. Let's stay on TV. The legendary Phil Donahue of the Donahue Talk Show died Sunday night, as you probably heard, after a long illness. He was 88 years old. I can remember Phil and his antics on screen when I was a kid. How about the FDA? Boy, we need Neil Crott in the studio for this next story. The FDA has approved an over-the-counter test for syphilis. Moving right along, according to a new study, more U.S. men these days are waiting until their 50s to become first-time dads. So, I'm 52. I couldn't imagine being a first-time dad at my age. I would much prefer to be a grandpa at this age than a first-time dad, but people are waiting. What else do we have here? Jimmy Kimmel saying that he doubts there will still be late-night talk shows in another 10 years. So Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know, maybe he's thinking his job is in jeopardy, but he doesn't think late-night talk shows will be around for a whole lot longer. Friends in Hollywood saying that Kylie Jenner has never been more in love than she is right now with actor Timothée Chalamet. I know my daughter is in love with Timothée Chalamet as well, but evidently Kylie Jenner is just head over heels. Let's see here. In other drama news, it could be a ways off, but Britain's Prince William says that he does not want his quote-unquote disloyal brother Harry at his coronation. So family feuding continuing with the British hierarchy. In other stuff, Keith Urban gave a few hours' notice for a free concert that he put on Friday in the parking lot of a store in North Alabama. It drew over 5,000 people. So Keith Urban doing a cool thing. How about the New York Yankees? The jersey that Babe Ruth was wearing when he hit his called shot. You know, when he pointed his bat towards the outfield that he was going to hit a home run. And then he hit it. That jersey that he was wearing is going up on the auction block soon and expected to pull in over $30 million. $30 million for a baseball jersey. Let's see here. Meanwhile, the brown fedora that Harrison Ford wore in the second Indiana Jones movie has sold at an auction for $630,000 for a hat that was worn in a movie. $630,000. Speaking of movies, Universal has secured the rights to Britney Spears' best-selling memoir, The Woman in Me. So soon you'll be able to watch her life story on the silver screen. Who will play Britney? Who knows? We'll find out together. And then also, after rumors of her breakup with Chris Martin, Dakota Johnson was seen around town wearing her engagement ring. Again, I think we talked yesterday how it seems like they're back together again. Finally, in things you need to know today, according to a new study, 3 out of 4 young adults blame social media for their mental health decline, yet they still continue to use it. Go figure. It is time for this. Today's Impossible question. Today's impossible question in the history of sports, and you know what? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to narrow it down. In the history of Major League Baseball, this has happened 12 times. What is it? Again, in the history of baseball, this particular achievement has happened 12 times. What is it? Think about that. We'll get back to that here in a second. Good morning to you, Bubby, Nancy, Sandy, Jackie. Appreciate the share. Sherry, Dixie, Tamra, Todd, Dan, Rosemary in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody else who is quiet and lurking in the shadows, we thank you too for watching this morning. Our impossible question for today, again, in the history of Major League Baseball, this achievement has happened 12 times. What is it? It is players reaching 300 career home runs. According to this, only 12 players have done that. Let's get weird.
That is weird.
In some weird, now we talked about this earlier. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for tuning in. The well-preserved skull of an extinct mastodon has been discovered right here in Iowa. Officials from the University of Iowa's Office of the State Archaeologist said a 12-day evacuation, or I should say excavation, that's the word, excavation, yielded, quote, several mastodon bones, largely from the skull of the massive animal, belonging to the same order as elephants and mammoths. Now, the bones were taken from an eroding creek bank in Wayne County here in Iowa and will eventually find a place at the Prairie Trails Museum in Corydon. So again, mammoth bones, mastodon bones. I don't know what the difference is between a mastodon and a mammoth, a woolly mammoth, but regardless, mastodon bones in Iowa. That's pretty cool. Other weird news. Let's go to the United Kingdom. The manager of a restaurant in the UK that has been crashed into for a third time says that there's a real risk that someone will be seriously hurt or killed in their restaurant. I don't know if that's a very good way to promote your restaurant or not. Now, the owner, whose name I can't pronounce, said it felt like a bomb had gone off when a vehicle plowed into the Royal Phoenix Chinese restaurant. Let's see here. The 44-year-old said there had also been a handful of near misses at the restaurant, which is situated opposite a mini roundabout junction. She says, quote, "Sometimes I sit at the bar and watch the traffic speed past, and I think, how many more of these near misses before someone gets hurt?" So I don't know if I would want to be seated near the wall in that particular restaurant. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take one in the far end, away from the street, if I was at that particular restaurant. In other weird news, a 30-year-old Minnesota woman is in custody after an incident on the way to couples therapy. So again, a couple going to therapy, trying to get their lives together. Her name is Veronica Rolene Gast. She was arrested for second-degree assault, criminal vehicular operation, bodily harm, gross negligence, and domestic assault. Before the incident, Gast and her boyfriend had been a couple for about a year. And according to Crime Online, while driving on the way to their therapist, Gast's boyfriend announced that he was breaking up their relationship and requested to be taken home. Gast then allegedly suddenly stopped her car, demanded her boyfriend exit the vehicle, and then she tried to run him over. So, yeah. I'd say one of them in particular needs therapy in this situation. Gast claimed her cracked windshield was caused by her boyfriend punching the glass, but of course it was because she hit him with her car. Let's go to Turkey. Dozens of lawmakers became embroiled in a fisticuffs brawl, kapow, poosh, oosh, in Turkey's parliament on Friday, as they argued over a jailed opposition deputy stripped of his parliamentary immunity this year. It was a 30-minute battle royal in Turkey's parliament. Let's see here. The parliamentary speaker said the two deputies at the origin of the brawl would be sanctioned. So, a bunch of turkeys there in Turkey. We go from turkeys to dolphins. Usually when you think of dolphins, you think, you can get in and swim with the dolphins, and they come up and they squeak at you and are all friendly with a smile on their face. How about this story? 4 swimmers have been injured in dolphin attacks. Yes, the dolphins are attacking on a beach in central Japan. According to officials, one man in his 60s suffered broken ribs and bites to his hands after a dolphin rammed him just a few meters off of a beach. Again, this is in central Japan. Now, signs have been put up telling swimmers to avoid approaching or touching the mammals. And while dolphins are not usually aggressive to humans, hostility towards swimmers is not unheard of. So watch out for those dolphins just off the coast in central Japan. Let's go to the files of law and disorder. Let's go to Atlanta. Couple is suing an Atlanta hospital that allegedly lost part of a patient's skull. What? After it was removed during brain surgery because several bone flaps were lacking identification. Okay. Fernando Cluster was at an Emory Healthcare Hospital September of 2022 because he was suffering from an intracerebral hemorrhage, otherwise known as bleeding on the brain. Now, to treat the bleeding, Cluster required emergency surgery that would include removing a portion of his skull, according to this lawsuit. The doctors removed a 12 by 15 centimeter bone flap with a plan to secure it back in place during a second surgery weeks later. But in November of 2022, when Cluster was set to have the follow-up surgery, the hospital allegedly struggled to find the bone flap, the missing bone flap. Now, Cluster has incurred, quote, medical expenses in excess of about $150,000 after being charged for the synthetic flap and the prolonged hospital stay in addition to his surgeries. Now, their lawsuit doesn't state an amount that the couple is seeking, but notes that they are seeking both general and special damages. So, when you're missing part of your skull, you might want to be reimbursed for that. Finally, let's go to some this morning.
Duh.
In some as we get ready to go back to school, some parents worry about lice. Lice has always been a thing in school. Many parents might not be aware of the latest lice policies issued by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC has recently updated its guidelines on how schools and families should handle head lice infestations. One significant change is that students with head lice no longer need to be sent home early from school. This is according to the CDC. Students are now allowed to finish the school day, receive a home lice treatment, and return to class as soon as the following morning. Now, when it comes to the quote-unquote no-nit policies of the past, the health organization, along with the American Academy of Pediatrics and the National Association of School Nurses, advocate for discontinuing children to be completely free of nits before returning to school. So, the burden of missing school days due to nits, you like that word, nits? Far outweighs the minimal risk of transmission, especially when the lice have been treated.
Duh.
So, don't worry about lice. It's just the nits. Let's take one last look at our forecast, shall we? Let's do that. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Mostly sunny today, a high of 78. It is a beauty out there. Right now, we're at 59 degrees here in the big town of Sigourney, Iowa. Of course, we do thank Ottumwa Coasters for being our headline sponsor here on the Morning Wake Up. Get a hold of Elizabeth for your coasters to be made up. Drink coasters. Get a hold of Ottumwa Coasters, 573-932-0111. And, of course, we do send a big thanks to Dr. Dan at Oski Dental for sponsoring the Oski Dental Studios, 641-673-4845. Video-wise, let's take a peek up at the schedule for today. In Remembrance of course, comes up at 8 a.m. this morning, as it does every weekday morning. We'll have our community calendar video, What's Happening in Southeast Iowa, at noon. Also, video-wise, Successful Farming at 5:30. We'll have the Brain Rewired with Iva Bontrager at 6 o'clock. And then also, 7 o'clock this evening, Tuesday Night Tune-Up, talking racing, local racing live from Smoky Row in Oskaloosa. So tune in. Lots to get to here today on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful weather and be safe. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. It's the Morning Wake Up.